Hi, who are you and where are you from?
I'm Danielle Shaffer, Santa Clarita, California.
I'm her husband, Jon Shaffer.
And do you all have a COVID story? Have you ever had it, or has anyone you known had it?
We've been very blessed and have not had it. Friends of ours have had it but have recovered perfectly fine.
And have you worried? Now, have you been socially distancing and masking this year, or?
We've been when we feel necessary. If other people, we're not necessarily like social distancing from close friends and relatives and stuff like that. But if there's somebody who's compromised or something, it's just common courtesy for us. If somebody requests it, we will. If not, we kind of just do our thing and hope that other people respect our decision not to wear masks all the time. But we will if we need to. It's not.
And do you have a reasoning behind not wearing masks?
Oh, well, we wear them like in social environments and stuff, but
Yeah,
I mean, if as needed.
Ours is just as needed. She's a nurse and I'm a pilot, and so like we just have taken the risk versus the, as far as we understand it, the risk is pretty low for anybody healthy our age. It's better than 99% survivability rate, and so we're okay as long as people aren't coughing on us and that kind of thing. We're happy to just kind of live our lives in our own little bubble here.
And vaccinations, are you getting them or no?
She's prego, so we're going to wait on that with her because she's prego. We don't have any research on pregnancy stuff like that. And, I'm waiting on it due to FAA. I'm not sure what their requirements will be as FAA for the.
Oh,
And what would be your reticence to getting their vaccine?
I'm happy to get it. We're kind of waiting for it to become FAA approved to go through the full approval. FDA approved to go through the full process, so that when it's done with that, if things continue as well as it has for the vaccine, I'm happy to get it. But as of now, we're just waiting for the approval to go through.
Now, has it affected your life much in this year, socially distancing for Christmas or Thanksgiving, or?
Definitely. I mean, I have an 84-year-old grandmother that's very high risk, and we were very cautious around her, and not, we kept our distance with her. And she's fully vaccinated now. Most of our family's all fully vaccinated. But I mean, we kept our circle small during the higher times.
And so did that affect your anxiety level or your happiness level, or?
No.
I mean, not anxiety, I wouldn't say at all, but as far as just like, it's a huge change just in general in the world, and
just not being able to go out to eat and things like that. That all sucks, but I mean, you're kind of going with the punches. There's not much we can do about it. So.
And I don't want to get that specific about it, but I mean, do you think that the government response has been over the top or about right, or where do you think they?
I think that for me personally, I don't think the federal government should be telling me generally how to live my life and what's best for me. I think I know a little bit more what's good for me than other people. So anything the federal government tries to tell me what to do, I question. It doesn't, and so I'm kind of like. Like to do it my own way. Not that I know better, but I certainly know better than the federal government what's good for my life. But again, I'm reasonable in that it's a virus, and masks are going to help that. But I don't think that shutting down our whole world is for something that's got such a high survivability rate was the right move.
Has there been any good that has come of this year? Have you had more time to spend with each other? Has there been new hobbies?
Yeah, we got pregnant. We get to be home more.
Yeah, we got to spend more time, quality time with closer family and friends for sure. It definitely makes you appreciate.
And you can take good from any situation. It could be the worst situation in the world that can teach you something. So you just learn to appreciate the good.
the birth rate has dropped off significantly
For
this
sure.
year.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're doing your part.
We're doing our part, right?
And so finally, any final thoughts philosophically about COVID, a year of pandemic? This series is about how we've lived and adapted through pandemics throughout history and how we're doing it this time. Any way that you look back and with perspective from where we're standing now on, by the way, Santa Monica Pier?
Right, in the middle of...
And 15 months after
I think it's still a little too early for me to come up with a philosophical version of that. You don't know how it's all going to play out as far as how it's affected people. It's such a complicated issue, and that like we probably saved a lot of lives by shutting down things, right? And so that's a good thing. But you've also destroyed a lot of lives by shutting down things. So it's so complicated that it's really hard to nail down has it been good or has it been bad as far as the philosophy or as far as the policies that have been put in place. But I think overall it's been an absolute disaster, of course, for everything that's happened. But
The economy, small
the economy.
businesses, yeah.
So
I guess
my general feeling is that it's a overall negative, net negative. But like I don't know. It's like I think it's a little too early to say what was right.
Did you think more about life and death, or?
I mean, definitely at first. I think in the very beginning, not knowing the severity of things, and there were so many mixed messages. And once we got a little bit more educated on it and got more of a handle on things and how it spread, and that young healthy people generally can recover okay, and
It just makes you worry less when you realize how people our age and our health status aren't as affected as older people.
But also the importance of keeping the immunocompromised and elderly and people that are higher risk safe. Yeah,
You want to do your
middle
part.
ground there.
And our last question would be, what about the future? Do you think this is going to be the new normal? Are we going to be masking? Are we going to be vaccinating?
We were just talking about that, yeah. I mean,
I think it'll be a new normal as far as there will be a lot of, depending on where you live, I mean, it's each area has its own little culture, right? I mean, this is different than Idaho, or this is different than Texas, and so they're going to have different normals for where you are. But like, I think that in a lot of the more liberal, progressive areas, you'll see a lot more of that for a long period of time. Versus, you can go a lot of places where you don't see the effects of it at all. So I think it just depends on where you are. But I think we'll be seeing masks for a long time. And so it's just something we deal with. If somebody requires it, we are willing to accept that. That's fine. It's private.
Absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much here on the 10th of May on Santa Monica Pier. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
thank you.
Important note. These interviews attempt to follow how Americans live their daily lives in a pandemic, their behavior, and personal belief systems. The views expressed are not those of journalist Michael Sean Comerford, nor any affiliated organizations, past or present. No interview should be considered an endorsement of the opinions expressed by the interviewee. These pandemic-focused interviews document a wide range of views held by individuals along Route 66 from February to May 2021.